how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good. How about you, man?
Man, I'm blessed, man. Over here actually bumping that best man I can be. You know what I'm saying?
That's one of my favorites, man. That was probably the moment in the industry that I gained confidence to know that I could really do it. Um, kind of, I don't want to say on my own, but I could do it without, get out of my comfort zone and do pretty well. That was the moment that I realized that.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, man, thank you so much for being on the Dessie show. For those that may not know, this is the one and only RL. But yeah, man. But I just went back through some of your catalog over the last couple of nights, and shout out to Rhea for setting this up, man. But
Oh
I just,
yeah, she the best, man. She's the best.
yeah, but going through your music, man, like you talking about all the way back from Butter Love, like
Yeah.
fan of the music all the way going back. But I was laughing and talking to one of the artists I work with, Keith Jacobs. He's an R&B artist.
Okay.
We were talking about how, man, you had the music that was like cool to kind of like first I got me a model. You know what I'm saying? Best man I can be, good man. You know,
Right.
it's like okay, the women want you to listen to RL because he gonna make sure you on point with it.
The funny thing is, I felt like what I wanted to do music wise when I as a writer
Yeah,
was be able to do what other artists did for me growing up. I had no game. Like I would call a girl, I didn't know what to say. So
yeah,
what I would do was I would block my number, call a girl I liked. As soon as she answered, I press play and put the phone to the speaker and let whatever my favorite artist was saying that I wanted to say
yeah.
speak for me. And
Right.
then I would hang up and she knew it was me, but she would call whoever it was and I would answer like, hello. Like it wasn't me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I always said if I ever made it, I want to be that
You must got a call.
artist offensive. It's almost like, and I don't want to get vulgar, but a man might say, I want you to do this. And I'm be like, yo, baby, I want you to taste
Yeah.
me. It's the difference. I want to be able to say something with a little, cool fin and a little, where it's the same thing and we getting to the same destination,
Yeah.
but I want to say it a little
Right.
more creatively to where you don't feel disrespected. I want to respectfully disrespect you in a good way because you can respectfully disrespect your old lady. You know what I'm saying? You can say things
Yeah.
to her that if it do. Am I good, y'all? Let me know because I want to make sure we get this in because I've been looking forward to this interview. Here we go. That's better.
Yeah.
Sometimes IG be bugging. They be thinking it'd be you or me, and it just be IG like, well, you know what? We gonna do y'all like this today. But man, thank
Yeah.
all y'all that's viewing for y'all patience, man. But yeah,
Absolutely, man. So yeah. So talk about making it and getting into the industry, man. Because I know you out of Minneapolis, and it's a lot
yeah.
on there right now, and I want to go to that as well. But just talk about making it coming up in Minneapolis and making it into the R&B industry.
But truthfully, I didn't know if I wanted to be a rapper or a singer. I had a record deal for rapping first, but
Oh,
I knew I wanted to sing somehow, some way. I felt like that was where I could be most creative, but I was a writer first.
yeah,
So, I mean, just a bunch of talent shows, a bunch of different groups I would be in. And, it's not like today where if you got a laptop, you can have a studio. You know what I'm saying? It was like if you didn't know no doughboy or ex-athlete or major musician, that had a facility, you just was a cappella it out. You know what I'm saying? And I remember us walking around the Mall of America when it first opened and singing and if I
uh,
ever fall, and
yeah,
we didn't have studios at first. So I think that we had to persevere through a lot more and be a little more hungry than now. I think now it's oversaturated, so you still have to work hard because there's so many people that have a studio and an online, you can a webcam and different things like that. For us, it was a little different. So I'm
yeah,
not trying to negate how hard it is now. It was just a different kind of hard for us, but we was just grinding. Like luckily being from Minnesota, my mother grew up with Prince. My cousin is Philip Bailey from Earth, Wind and Fire, so
Okay.
it was in my blood, pretty
Yeah.
much. So I had to get it. And then
Yeah.
I had a son in high school, so people always see me post my daughter and
Yeah.
not my son a lot. But I have to tell people the reason I made it was my son. There was no choice of failure. When you in
Yeah.
high school and you have a child, it's like ain't no, well, I'll just wait or we'll just see what happens. Ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, so what was your rap name?
You know what? I didn't even really have a rap name. It was just I was just rapping. Like, I'm talking about everywhere. I could freestyle. I would record records. And I
Yeah.
remember we had a Ann Nesby used to that's my group member's godmom, but she
Yeah.
used to work with us and she took us to Northern Illinois University and there was somebody there from Mercury Records. And we were singing, but there was a part of the show where I had to rap on one of the songs.
Yeah.
And dude was like, I want him right there. I want to sign him. But to be honest, I always wanted the group thing. I never even wanted to do the solo thing.
Yeah. So, so that's pretty dope that you were a rapper as well, and that kind of makes sense too. Because another thing going through your catalog, I noticed was that even though you did the R&B ballads and things like that in the '90s R&B style, you still had a cool factor to you that would allow you to work with artists like, even going forward, like a Lil Wayne and working with JD
Right. Yeah.
and even Noriega, people like that. So it wasn't like you were just the cornball R&B type.
Well, I think that I don't think many R&B cats are cornball. I think no, there are some. Let's keep it 100. But I really think it's about image. Our image wasn't supposed to be street. Now it is. It's like you run up on a lot of these R&B cats, you're gonna get hands. That's
Yeah,
just an image we have to portray. It's lovers, not fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like we talking about making love to you, not laying hands on somebody. You can't sing about that. That's not, you know what I mean? What we gonna name the song? I beat
right.
up your man. You know what I'm saying? That's so for us, it was all about just imaging. Now, with social media, if a scuffle happens, somebody disrespect me and I put hands on them, now you see that I ain't to be played with. Back then, there was fights, there was situations. You just
Yeah,
don't know about them because we kept them to ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So going back to you, going solo and things like that. So talk about that part because I know you said you never wanted to go solo. So what was kind of everything behind that?
Let me see if I can. Let me see if I
Yeah, you got chopped.
see if we can get something better popping. Is that better?
Yeah.
I want to make sure it's not me because I want to make sure we get all this cracking. I come in my barber shop. Let me
Okay.
cut on some lights. Is that better?
Yeah. Uh
All right, let's try it now. My bad. I just sit in my little barber chair. Go ahead.
huh.
I'm chilling with family. We just having a conversation. Let's do it.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that. So yeah, so I was saying, talk about going solo with it, since you didn't want to really initially do that, and how that came together.
Well, what it is like any artist, even when you're creating a project, even when that's done, because you're sitting on it for months at a time, preparing it after it's done. Like
Yeah,
even though you're done recording that project, if you're a creative like myself, you're still recording. You're not like, okay, the album's done. I ain't got to be in the studio no more. You still have other ideas and you're thinking beyond that project or even records you're gonna slang to some other artists.
yeah,
So we put out the second album and I had the Whatever Joint on Ideal, which was doing really well. It went for ads the week before Wifey did.
uh-huh.
And then we were coming with Wifey, and we already knew it was going to do what it needed to do.
Yeah,
Um, and that's around the time that Clyde Davis was leaving Arista and he was starting Jay.
yeah,
So, of course, he wanted us to come with him, but we were the only group at the time that had a project out.
yeah,
Nobody else. So we were kind of stuck. It was like, okay, what do we do? So we meet with LA, who I love, but he hadn't done his homework. He didn't know none of the album. And we were like, huh? So Clive, on the other hand, he flies us out to his crib. He like, yo, come hang out. The
yeah,
whole staff that had signed us was coming with him. And we felt nostalgic and we wanted to be loyal. That's to a fault, that's how we are. You know what I'm saying? Street code, you know what I mean? And we stayed and we went with Clive, but we didn't realize that the staff wasn't in place really at J yet. Number
mm,
two, we were told, regardless of the decision we made, the album will be promoted on two labels. So we looked at it like,
yeah.
oh, we're going to get double the
Oh,
promotion and marketing. Well, Arista would call radio and tell them to play Pop Your Collar by Usher instead of our second single, which was Beauty Queen. So we didn't get to the second, third, and fourth single like we had planned. So it
Right.
kind of hurt us. So I go to the offices of Jay and I have new records already ready. Like, yo, Mr. Davis, let's do this new next album. And he's like, really, that would be competing with your album out now. You just put this album out 2-3 months ago. It's impossible. But
Yeah.
what I will do is give you more money than you've ever had in your life, put you up in LA or wherever you want to be put up,
Yeah.
and we can do your album. And the best thing I did was go to LA because my group members, that's where they live. So I
Yeah.
went there to be around them.
Mm-hmm.
But the worst thing I did was I didn't include KG, my mentor,
Yeah.
and my partner in the production, but I only didn't do it because of Next. And what I mean by that is that sound
Yeah.
is my sound with KG.
Yeah.
So if we would have created that sound, I was afraid the public would be like, well, what we need next for?
Right.
Because it was already at the point where they were saying lead singer, lead this. And I hate that saying because we all lead in different ways. And what that does is diminishes the magnitude of each member. You know what I'm saying? That's where the issues come in. I'm the youngest. They're real biological brothers.
Yeah.
So we had already dealt with little things like that. But now all of a sudden we're talking about fame. And, you know, we're splitting everything evenly as far as shows and signing bonuses, but not publishing. So I had 2 close out. I'm getting different checks.
Yeah.
So, and then you're moving to different states. And when you move and y'all each got money, y'all got new friends.
Right.
And these friends don't know the depths of your relationship. They don't know what y'all been through. They don't know the struggles y'all endured together. So they're in each of our ears like, man, why he do this? Or you don't need him. And each person deals with that. And that's what causes the separation in groups. But the only reason I did the project was because I went to Clive to do a new Next project.
Yeah.
And he was like, it would be too soon. I was never even thinking solo. The only time that I even had a slight idea that I might do it is when I did the best man. Because I'm around these solo artists and I'm like, I'm kind of holding my own a little bit. Because I was nervous. You know what I'm saying? I looked up to those guys. And I still do, but I'm kind of nervous. But I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to sing my tail off and we're going to see what happens.
So talk about how that record came together. Because that was like, that's even, I feel like that's even before like your LSG and your.
It was way before.
Yeah.
Well, so there were different iterations of it. It was supposed to be me and Kevin Edmonds and 2 other people. Then it was supposed to be me and Usher and somebody else. And it kept switching. And I was on tour. The day I landed from tour was the day I had to go in the studio. The funny part is, Jimmy and Terry did that. But what nobody knew at the time outside of them is that they were supposed to sign us and chose to sign a group called Solo instead. Broken Hearts. I was in high school in a group called Low Key who really discovered us and kind of did the first records that got KG's attention by Lance and Prof T. They would sneak us out to the studio and we would record at flight time. Yeah. Well, we sang for Big Bro Terry and he was like, okay, that was good. So we thinking, okay, check is in the mail. We about to get signed.
Yeah.
He didn't sign us. But everything happens for a reason. But I'm in this session now, and I felt like it's almost like being in a room with the girl that you liked all these years, and she never gave you no play. And now your opportunity to show her a little something, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So all that, this is for my brothers in the hood, to the high, all that talking, I just came up with that. All that brother at the end, I made that up just because I was doing too much, but I was trying so hard to impress them. And I actually, somebody had put on a message that, they loved the song, but it sounded like we all trying to out-sing each other. Funny thing is, I did all my parts first.
Yeah. So they come back over.
Yeah, I did everything that I did. Like, let me just do what I need to do. And that was it. I felt like, and the guys teased me at the video shoot talking about, thank you for letting us be on your song. It really wasn't that. It was, I was so nervous being around all that greatness that I think that I exceeded expectations. So they put me on a lot of the record. But these were like, I'm talking about G, Case, and you know what I'm saying, Tyrese. These are cats that I'm like, these dudes had careers, still do. They were like bigger than me. So I felt like I had to represent for all the groups.
Right. Yeah. So then talk about a record like We Can't Be Friends, because that's another one that like you still even hear people use that term you know, when they're talking to a chick or whatever, that we can't be friends. So talk about the putting that record together and where it's come, how far it's come.
Well, that's one of the only records in my career that I didn't write, like even a little bit. Like usually it'd be something I did.
Yeah,
But Clive was basically like, I need you to do this. And we were on tour Boys to Men, but it was whatever Clive said. It's funny because, when you're younger, I didn't realize the history, Aretha and all the things, the greatness that he is and was. I just knew him as the boss man.
yeah,
He would come to our sessions sometimes because he took special interest in us because we were the only group that was successful in our genre at that time that was kind of almost signed directly to the label. Everybody else was LaFaze, Bad Boy. We
yeah,
weren't one of those subsidiaries, so he got more of the credit for it, even though KG was behind it. You know what I'm saying? But he hit me and was like, yo, I need you this record. And I actually we were in Detroit and I had to leave and stay an extra day and go in the studio. And I just sang. And again, I was so used to being around my big bro Tilo, who
yeah,
would, vocal produce me. And I didn't know what I was doing. I just sang as hard as I could. So
yeah.
they hit me back and said, that was good, but we're going to, clean up some stuff. So I was in LA. And people don't know this, but Montel Jordan, who's one of my favorite people in the world, one of the nicest guys ever, actually wrote it and produced it with Shep Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in with them and they instructed me and put me on the right path. And it just blew up out of nowhere. I knew Deborah was a powerhouse. I call her Mrs. Cox because she's a boss. I
Yeah,
think that people don't realize she went to Broadway and slayed and she's doing all these things that just because we as our people don't
yeah.
quote unquote see her, that
Don't.
she's not exactly. But she was the first, you look on Instagram, it's such and such fit. All these women is, showing their, their muscles and they work out, and it's a beautiful thing. But she was the first woman that I saw that had like those superhero arms, like she could be Wonder Woman. So when she hugged you, she squeezed like your soul, and it was like, wow. I remember her walking in the room. I'm looking at her like in a daze, but then, hubby walks in and 10 seconds later, and it was like, but that's big sis, and it was just amazing. I remember Little X shooting a video and him bringing us in a room, and he like, yo, I need real emotion, and my grandfather's like the closest person to me, and he had passed,
Yeah,
and he was like, I need you to think about your granddad then. And
yeah.
those, I really cried in her arms in that kitchen, and it was just an epic moment. And I think that I always wanted to have music that transcended, you know what I'm saying, that
Yeah.
really went beyond me, even my career, you know what I'm saying, that was bigger than me.
Right.
You look at, my cousin Philip Bailey, like I said before, and there's records that will always, I don't care what, barbecue, skating rink, I don't care where you at, these records going to be
Yeah,
played.
yeah,
I always wanted to have that kind of effect on the culture. And I think that's one of those records. I'll go to karaoke and somebody else, I hear that music come on and all of a sudden the crowd is looking at me at the side of their eye and it's a girl up there with a mic and I
yeah.
know what she's thinking, like, please come up here. And I'm like, because I like doing karaoke, but I be singing like country songs. I hate singing. I think it's cheating to sing your own record. But
Right.
every once in a while I'll get up there and we'll mess around. But the only thing is, that's probably the record I get DM'd the most where somebody's singing it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they want me to repost it or tell them how good they are,
Right.
but sometimes they don't be good, so I don't be knowing what to say. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Sometimes I
good.
be feeling good about it, like, yeah, I guess I still got my day job, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to worry about yet. But yeah, people will send me, they be looking in the camera to just act like, and I'm like, you ain't looking at me. We could be friends, homie. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
So what's your go-to karaoke song then? Since you said you
You
like,
know what? If it's R&B, it's John Legend.
okay,
Really ordinary people. You know
okay,
what I'm saying? And then if it's anything else, it's probably Diamond Rio. It's a country western song. It's my favorite. I mean, like when I tell you, it's amazing. Like one more day.
yeah.
What is it? One more night with you. I'll be wishing
Where is
one
it?
more day with you. It's crazy. One more day. That's what it is. One more time. Keep me wishing for. I mean, it's crazy. Like listen, Diamond Rio. They call older white dudes country western.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. So dope. So talk about being from, and this gonna take it, a different.
Minneapolis.
Yeah, being from Minneapolis and everything that's going on. I know we tried to set this up earlier, but they told me you were out there protesting, and I thought that was really dope. You know what I'm saying?
No, no. Let me. I didn't protest because I think that a lot of times, I'm gonna circle back to that, but a lot of times, um, we're against each other on the same journey
Yeah.
because we're looking at everybody else's directions that might not be the same as ours. They're trying to get to the same place. But
Hmm.
I'll take Kaepernick and Jay-Z, for example. Jay-Z's a businessman. He thinks I need to get in the building and find a way to get to that same place you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
Kaepernick's like, I want to bring attention to it until there's justice. Neither one is right. Kaepernick, sacrificed his career.
Hmm.
Um, Jay, they said he sold out. I don't think that. I think he's a businessman. He's looking at it from a different perspective, which maybe none of us understand, but that ain't for us to understand.
Yeah.
But he didn't get where he is from a drug dealer, artist to what he is by not being a smart businessman, a
Right.
smart man.
Yeah.
And, I know that he's done a lot of things humanitarian wise that people don't know about.
Hmm.
Well, all of a sudden, we're bickering about two men's separate journeys trying to get us to the same place.
Yeah.
So I look at it like this. Certain people have a lot to lose. These younger cats that are out there, I have a 3-year-old, I have a 24-year-old. Like my son could be out there. For me to be out there and risking my health where something happens to me, maybe bills don't get paid. Anything can happen. I have a responsibility where
Yeah.
I have, I'm not saying more to lose, but it's just a different,
Yeah.
aspect that you have to think about.
Hmm.
These younger people out there on the front lines, man, it's admirable. I told myself, I'm not going to go out there to help you tear it down. I respect you tearing it down. It needs to be torn down in some instances, but I want to come and help you rebuild it better
Yeah.
and figure out how we can all really benefit from this and grow.
Yeah.
So I went and met with the police chief, who was a black man, and we talked about finding ways to change the perspective and the attitude of police. Because you think about it, you can't show me one kid in the inner city who's not from a law enforcement family that wants to grow up to be a cop. So
Right.
now what's going to continue is these cops coming from other places, having the police communities that they have no empathy for, that they don't even respect it. So if they're afraid.
Yeah.
Right. So you're in you have to go to work here. You're not looking forward to your job. So anybody on here watching, how many times do you go to work if you don't like your job? Are you going to really do your best and really, really be sincere about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever it is. And it's the smallest thing, but for a cop, the measurement is different. And I understand, you're supposed to, that it's a different responsibility. That does not negate what has happened. I'm just saying these people, they do look at us as animals because they're
Yeah.
not in our community. So we're trying to find ways to say, okay, look, if this cop comes in, and I have to go back and have some more meetings, but they want to actually institute a lot of this stuff. But they're
Yeah.
saying, okay, this cop comes in, he's new on the precinct, 2 days a month. He still gets paid, he's paid on these days, but
Yeah.
instead of him coming in uniform, he goes to a community center. Because
Hmm.
if you know people and you get to know them, you see this cat wilding out. Oh, look at Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy just drunk. He barked more. He ain't gonna bite you. I'm gonna put him in the car and take him home to Sheila. I'm not gonna arrest him. I'm gonna take
Yeah.
him home so he can, dry out and be cool. But don't do this no more. Your wife gonna kill you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Things like that is what used to happen.
Relationships versus
Ex-
just talking down and talking to people in that manner, and that's what you don't really see anymore.
Yeah,
And
what's funny, not to cut you off, is I remember there was a time where you would pull your pants up. You saw a certain cop, you knew his name because you might have went to school with his kid. He might have coached you little league or something.
mhm.
And what's funny is a long time ago back, because we talk about who's about that life and R&B cats being soft. I pulled a fake gun out on this kid when I was like 12. He's
Wow.
walking down the street, and I stayed where I was at. I wasn't even thinking. I was hood. I didn't care. And all of a sudden, the police hit the corner like 10 minutes later. So I run up in my brother's girlfriend's house and I throw a little fake strap under the radiator.
Yeah.
And police come in there and act like ain't nothing. I ain't had nothing, nah, whatever. Well, my brother girl mom dry snitched on me. They got it. So when dude, he put me in the car, he didn't even cuff me. He not
Yeah.
just a scared kid just doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
He asked me my name, and I think my dad was like a bowling buddy of his or something. He was like, "Oh, you Bobby's son?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he knew that I would have probably rather went to jail than get that whooping that was coming to me when I
Absolutely.
got home. So
Yeah.
guess he took me home. And the truth is, if he had took me to jail and I got in the system, I might not be blessed being able to talk to you right now. Because
Right.
once you're in the system, things change. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So that changed my life, and that gave me a certain respect for an authority. It's okay to have authoritative figures, but a lot of times some of these kids didn't have that father figure or that
Mm,
authoritative figure in their life, so they don't know how to deal with somebody, as they say, telling them what to do. I look at it more like instructing them to do something legal or do the right thing. A lot of
yeah.
times they look at it as, you don't tell me what to do, and I understand that. And I think that cops have to do better because they're held at a higher standard, but so
Mhm.
do we. You know what I mean? So do we.
And having that community as well is even having the other active fathers in the community or other active parents in the community that helps everyone as well because I was blessed to grow up with my parents as
Same here. Yep.
yeah. So, you don't realize till you get older that that's kind of rare. You know what I'm saying? But it's like they kind of helped with everyone. Like, if there was someone else, one of my friends that maybe didn't have a father figure, then that's where my dad kind of stepped in.
Right, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that the issue that's happened now is a lot of dudes were younger having kids.
Yeah.
So they don't know, or they don't have somebody that they can say, well, I'm doing what my dad did for me, because they might not have had that. So them already doing it for their own kid is more than they know. So the responsibility of some other kids in the community is a tall task to ask. And the truth is, it don't even have to be black people.
Yeah.
I know some white cats that fight for the cause and buy black. And one of my best friends, white dude, his mom was a construction worker and a bartender in the Hoodest Club in Minnesota. And he married a black woman, a wonderful woman, who had two black sons already.
Yeah.
Them his kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they
Yeah.
got a daughter together. And he like, man, I got two black sons. And he on the front lines. You know what I'm saying? So it's not even necessarily just a color thing. It's an economic thing. Like, it's
Right.
about, you got bread where you live at. That's what dictates opportunities. You know what I'm saying? And that's the sad thing.
Yeah, man. So yeah, but I really appreciate you saying that because everyone has a different job. I too have a family, and so I can't be out on there on the front line. But what I did want to make sure I did was, I give people a platform that can speak on it, or encourage people to vote and put out information and things like that.
And the funny thing is, people don't realize it. I remember when the Mr. Floyd situation happened, and I waited a few days and I posted this picture with a pretty sizable comment, and some younger girl from my city who actually lives in Atlanta now commented under like, "This ain't it, Chief." So I was like, "Well, tell me what is." And
Yeah,
she started talking about, "Well, you need to donate, and you could be doing this, and you should be doing this and posting this." And I was like, you know what? Nah, because I know cats that post things just because for the look. I
yeah,
know cats that are going to rallies, putting their arm up with the shirt on, taking a picture and bouncing. That's
hmm,
not doing nothing. So when I do donate, I don't talk about it because you ain't supposed to. I
right,
want to find solutions. When I did come up there to Minnesota, nobody knew. Somebody ended up posting a picture of me and the police chief together. So I
yeah,
reposted it, but they would have never known because
uh,
it ain't about me. I
right,
have my platform to do what I do. I just want to be an artist per se on that end. Everything else I do for my community and my family. I understand that we live in a new world where they say, if I don't post it, it didn't happen. It's
yeah,
funny how many people come up to me or see me out and see me doing well and are surprised. Like, oh my God, you still, or they see me, in my crib or come by and see the whip because I ain't posting it because I grew up at a time where your mama said, you act like you ain't used to nothing. You ain't got to be telling nobody what you got. These folks, they'll see it when you got it on or when you do this. Well, we live in a world of drip now. So if I
yeah,
don't post, and I wasn't even flexing. I got a barbershop in my house because I was at the barbershop one time, loose lip, but we was talking about music, and somebody in the barbershop left and misquoted me and said all this stuff that he said I said. And I remember the word was, what happens in the barbershop, stay in the barbershop. Well,
uh,
he broke the rule. So since he broke the rule, I literally built a barbershop in the crib. That's the only reason. There ain't no flex. But I was like, you know what? If I can't be comfortable in a room full of men talking, shooting the SH, talking like we talk, then I'll just do it at the crib, and me and my good close friend who's my barber will do it.
right,
And that's what it's about. But we live in a world now. If you ain't posted, it
yeah,
ain't happen. And
happen.
that's not the reality of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. man, and I appreciate you so much for your time, my brother. So please, talk about what you have coming up. I know you always writing. I know prior to COVID, you were definitely always on tour and moving around
Man.
and doing different things. So please talk about kind of what you have going on now.
Well, I have the new single out, "You Are," with the video. Got my daughter, my wife in it. That was like a Mother's Day tribute, and all of, I don't want to say industry friends, but all the people that are dear to me in the industry sent videos. All the ladies, talking to their moms, daughters. It was amazing. Like literally, I was on the phone with Candy, and I was stuttering because I'm that one guy that'll do anything for you. She hit me. I need some movies, so I need to, and like she's one of the most down to earth people. I've known her for years, right?
Yeah,
And I was scared to ask her to do this video for me, and she was like, and I was stuttering literally. She was like, "Look, just call me and tell me what you want me to do, and I'm gonna do it."
yeah,
And I was like, "Okay, shit, okay, bye," and got off the phone, right? And I was like, "Dang!" And I be forgetting because you run into all these industry people and
yeah.
people that claim that you cool with them and you really not. That
Uh,
when you have that circle of people that are super cool,
yeah,
the Kirks and Rashidas, and you see them on TV, you think it's one way, and they so cool to, Todd and Ken, all these people. That's, I mean, even Delicious, Cinnaville. I mean, it's all these people. Shamia Morton sang. People didn't know she could blow. It was just an amazing thing, and it really warmed my heart because
yeah,
you become kind of cold in this industry because it's vultures. But we got the UR joint. I got we're doing the Next by Nature EP with Naughty by Nature. We're taking it back to the beginning. We had the first single. We're gonna do like 3 or 4 records with the big brothers.
okay,
I got an Afrobeats album that I'm gonna drop in Africa exclusively because I
yeah,
went to Africa and I'm like, yo, this is rocking. Okay, what we doing? Let me go in my studio and try to create that. My business partner, production partner, B Flat, he just dropped this project Friday.
yeah.
Um,
I've been seeing you
and
out of that on.
yeah, he's one of the most talented people I ever met. We are actually working on my nephew Tyler. We were just working on his album. We did the single with him and Ronnie DeVoe. We did we flipped "If It Isn't Love," and it's like climbing the charts. It's crazy. He's a
Yeah,
70-year-old kid. He graduated full year early from high school. So we're working on his album. I'm about to drop a free EP. It's called The Letter J,
yeah.
and it's called The Letter J because I sampled John B, Janet Jackson, and Jodeci.
Oh, that's all.
And I'm gonna give away this 3-song EP for free because people have been waiting on me, and I
Yeah,
be in my lives or playing little snippets and stuff, and they be like, when is this dropping? And I want to give people music, but it's hard. I don't want to say all of my audience, but a lot of my core audience, they're not on social media to be
yeah, yeah.
downloading and streaming music. So trying to find a new way to get
Yeah, get it
our
to 'em.
music exactly. It's
Yeah,
been difficult for a lot of us because I mean, you look at the Jaggers 112, Drew Hill. They put out projects that are amazing, and
hmm,
they didn't sell the way they should have because their audience didn't even really know that it
yeah.
was out.
Uh-huh.
So just trying to navigate that and figure it out. But I'm having fun with it now. COVID has been one of the worst things ever, but artists like myself have been able to utilize wonderful platforms like yours,
Yeah,
where now a lot of our fan base is at home. Like, you know what? I'm gonna get on the internet then. What else I'm gonna do? And
yeah,
now they're seeing a lot of their artists of yesteryear that they love, and they're like, "Oh, well, I didn't know. Okay, well, I done
yeah,
got 100-some thousand followers since all of this stuff." Which I'm not saying it's a blessing at all. I'm just saying that we are a resilient people. We learn to take tragedy and turn it into triumph. We find a way,
yeah,
and
for
that's
sure.
all we doing.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, man. Well, I really appreciate you for taking the time today and being on the show, man. It's really, really dope, man. And anything I can support, like when you drop a single or your video or whatever.
Man, now, listen. You had Rhea and you had Crystal on it. Those are two of my favorite people, right?
Yeah,
And I watch, and I always watch. I watch from another account because I don't be liking it pop up. But I'm a fan, and I appreciate you, man. I just want you to know you allow me to be on your platform, and I say this because being in this game, I'm 23 years in, and
yeah,
people love, especially in I can't say our community, but I'll just say people love to throw you away, and they want what's new. They want to go, okay, let's find something, the new hot thing. So
yeah,
when people like yourself allow people like me to come on, it's a big blessing, bro. And I want you to understand the impact you're having on lives such as myself. And
yeah.
I appreciate you, bro. I really do, man.
Man, that means the world that you would say that, bro. And I really appreciate that, and I look forward to hearing the new music. And I've been rocking with you since '97. I still got
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
yeah,
Well, I appreciate it. And again, you are is everywhere. The video streaming everywhere. The single is on every platform, man. And I appreciate you. Whenever I get when the letter J is done, I'll get it to you early.
perfect.
Just tell Rhea to get it. When she get it, she's probably watching because she's the
Yeah,
police. So when she get it, since she'll get it early, I'm saying it right here. She can send it directly to you. You can get a sneak peek early.
perfect. And I'll make sure and talk about it and everything like that too, man. So
I appreciate you, man.
yeah, and I look forward to connecting to you with you offline as well, brother.
I most definitely, man. I'll talk to you soon. All
All right, peace.
right, peace.